guys, thanks so much for tuning in. I want to talk to you today a little bit about the language of Twitter and just hopefully remove some of your fears. It's not code, I promise. Most of it is actually common sense. The biggest fear that I encounter when an agent asks me about Twitter and the possibility of using it for their business is really just that fear of the secret codes, and I feel like they're speaking a different language, that sort of fear. And it's very specific, I think, to this particular social media tool because of some of the shortcuts that we use, but I am here to tell you that it is not a secret, nor do you have to be an insider to really understand the language of Twitter. So I hope to lay it out real simple for you today. You may have heard me say this before about Twitter. Listen, lurk, and learn. Unless you lock down your tweets will be public, and this is a good thing. You just have to remember the mother rule, or the spouse rule, or the kid rule, however it applies to you. Anyone can listen, lurk, and learn at twitter.com. Even if you don't have a Twitter account, you have the ability to go there and see what people are talking about. So to assist with your learning while you're lurking out there on Twitter, I just wanted to decipher a tweet for you so you had an idea of what you're looking at. 140 characters is not a whole lot of characters, so we tend to abbreviate things a little bit here. First things first, right at the top it says the White House, and that is the particular account that this is from. And then it says at White House. And at White House in gray there, that's actually the White House Twitter handle. Technically, I could go to twitter.com/White House and see every single tweet from this account. The actual text of the tweet is just underneath there, and one of the first things that should jump out at you is the #WH Hangout. What that is, it's a tag basically that they're using to speak about a particular subject or event. And anyone can use that tag to tie it in with that particular event. Continuing on in the tweet, you'll see it says they have a little @ symbol with @HUD News and then @Zillow. And what they're doing there is they're actually referring to those two accounts. They're mentioning those other tweeters, those other Twitter accounts. At the bottom, that little, mine's in pink, that little last line of icons there, you can see that you can click to view the video, which technically you could click just above there to watch it as well. You can reply to the White House, so if you click reply there, you could reply to this tweet. You can retweet this information to your followers, which is the next button there, or you can click favorite to actually save. It's kind of like bookmarking. So let's talk about the mentions because they can get really confusing and they're critical when you're having a conversation on Twitter. When another person on Twitter mentions you, or more specifically your Twitter handle, just like the @HUD News or the @Zillow we just saw, you're going to see this when you click on @Connect when you're on Twitter. You're also going to get an email, so you should be aware of these. The next term you may hear floating around is DM or direct message. Direct messages are private messages that will not appear in the public Twitter stream. DMs follow the same 140 character rule and can only be sent when the sender and the receiver follow each other. If you attempt to send a DM to a user that does not follow you back, you're going to get a "this person does not follow you back" warning, and you're not actually even going to be able to send it. In my personal opinion, replying to others is really one of the best things that you can do on Twitter. Have a conversation. Get the interaction. Two ways that you can do this in particular. First is just replying by retweeting something someone wrote that they mentioned you in, and in this case, writing some comments just before it. I was thanking this person, she shared something of mine to somebody else that I didn't know. She actually shared it before I even saw it. So, pretty cool. So I retweeted what she sent, and I said thanks. Retweeting makes sense because then everybody knows what you're talking about. There are times, though, that you can't do that. There's just not enough room, or maybe it doesn't make sense. So you can go back and forth and just reply to people. Sometimes you put a question out there, and people will just reply back to you, which is the second example that we have there. It kind of just depends on the situation. Let's talk about the retweet, or the RT. Retweeting is sending a tweet, usually not your own, but it could be, out to your followers. There are two ways to retweet something. There's a standard retweet with no comments, where you're just pushing out a tweet that someone else sent to all of your followers. And the second example there is a retweet with comments. So you're retweeting something somebody else said, and you're putting some comments in front of it. And again, this works a lot when you're conversing back and forth with people. We touched on hashtags briefly already, and I have to be honest, I'm not sure that hashtags are entirely necessary anymore with our search capabilities, but you're still going to see them used on Twitter. And the hashtag, that pound symbol, is what's used to group tweets together. So I gave you an example here of some tweets, all from CBHers, and they're actually, we all put pound CBH right in our tweets to kind of tie them all together. So that's just one example. You can try TP12, which is the Realtors Triple Play for 2012, RENet, which is real estate, internet, awesome people. Just pound real estate, or pound Philadelphia, or, you want to, pound Justin Bieber. Bottom line, don't be afraid of Twitter. I promise there are no secret codes. If you're interested in trying Twitter, listen, lurk, and learn. And then, when you're ready, jump in with both feet. Remember to focus on having a conversation. Interaction is really the key to success on any social media platform. Always reply when you're mentioned, and reach out to others who say something that you're interested in. You guys can totally do this. I know you can. Try it out. If you have questions, just let me know. I'm here to help. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Have an awesome weekend.